Hello, hello, Angel Powers. Boom, boom, boom. This is Angelica Ortiz with Angelica in person. One in the comments if you are alive, because it's a blessing to be alive. And I am alive. I was sick all day, but I am alive. So what a blessing. And type I miss you if you are not present right now. Drop in the comments where you're tuning in. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and I am from Cali, Colombia, the real South. So now you know more about me. I live in Nashville. So let me know in the comments. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. City, country, state, continent. Okay. Right now I have people from United States and Canada. So I need to know if I'm hitting another country. And I'm sitting down today. I'm not packing trials today. My energy is very low because I was sick all day. I worked last night when I did my video. I was very energetic, very passionate, and I keep working. I work, online selling ketones, and I was in the computer until 2:30 in the morning, and I was fine. And then I went to bed, and I was fine. And then I start getting my neck pain, and then my jaw pain, then headache, and then in the morning I was like, because I worked until 2:30 in the morning. I didn't want to put an alarm. Okay, who's here? Crystal. Woo woo. Something Ruiz. Thank you for being here. Drop your city, state, country, so I can give you a shout out. And if you're new to my show, type new in the comments so I can welcome you, because I know there's a lot of new people, because Facebook is very active on my page. So that's amazing. So right now I'm here on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the same time. So thank you for being here, and feel free to share this video, share everything you find on my social media. Also follow me on all platforms, because remember what happened in October last year. Facebook and Instagram went out for 6 hours or 8, and we were like, oh, I need communication with these people. So make sure you follow me on all four. Angelica Empowers. Okay. So I work until 2:30 in the morning. I went to bed, and then when my body says wake up, I'm gonna wake up. But when I wake up, I was in pain, and I threw up because that was a migraine. And then I slept all day, all day, all day. And I drink my ketones and my Vitaplex. And I had a dinner with a friend to celebrate her birthday, and I had to cancel her dinner. I was like, we planned it last week. I was like, that's so sad, but life happens. So I want you to raise your hand if you need help. Like, I was not this person that you see right now. I was not like this. I was not asking for help when I had my first depression. Only my husband knew about it. I was like, how in the world I'm gonna tell my friends I'm depressed? And how can I tell them why I'm depressed? Because at that time I was going to school to get a degree in Spanish. So my plan was teach Spanish in schools, right? Because that's my first language. So that was like, ooh, that's gonna be so easy for me. But then what happened in my mind, when you have those voices in your mind to tell you you're not enough, you're not smart, you can't do that, Angelica or Patricia, or let me see a name here, Rosenberg, Judy, Aileen, like, you're not enough. You can't do this because you don't have experience, or who's going to listen to you. So I have those voices in my brain that I was not able to teach Spanish. Why? Because I didn't speak English very well. I was not able to understand everything in English, because when you're teaching, the kids are going to ask you questions in English. Hey, explain this and this and this, and grammar, explain grammar to me. Because when I was taking French, my instructor was talking in French almost all the time to explain the rules about French, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do the job like teaching Spanish because I can't speak English. So that was a very tough time for me. I was depressed. I was crying every single day. I was just going to school and coming home to sleep and cry. And then Rosenberg was, worried about me. And he was talking to me. He's been so nice. He's a good husband, 21 years married. And he's like, honey, you can do it. You're going to be teaching Spanish. Don't worry. You're going to learn more English. I was like, nah. And I went to the doctor because my husband said, honey, I can't do anything else for you. Please find help. Go to the doctor. So that's why I'm here to tell you, raise your hand so you can find support. Maybe someone is going through the same thing and is going to tell you, oh, this is what I did. I went to this therapist, or I changed my way of seeing things. I started reading the Bible. I went to this particular church. I met this person online that her name is Angelica Empowers. You should follow her. So raise your hand because I went to the doctor, and of course I didn't like what he said because he referred me to a psychiatrist, and I was like, excuse me, psychiatrist? I didn't say anything. I was like, yes, I'm gonna make the appointment to the psychiatrist. But you know what? I didn't make the appointment to the psychiatrist because I was like, I'm not gonna take medicine. So at that point I was like, Angelica, you better wake up. And God works in mysterious ways. I was taking a class, psychology class, and I met this lady from Ecuador. And we started talking. I don't know how we started talking, and she shared her life, and she struggled a lot. And I was like, I'm not struggling like her. And then she said, what helped me was buying a dog. The dog gave me so much therapy, helped me to get out from the house, to go, go for a walk. Of course, I didn't buy a dog the next day. It took me a year, but that was in my mind. A dog. Am I going to be a good mom? Am I going to be, present with the dog, taking the dog for walks? And then after a year, I made the decision. And that was the best decision in my life to have Caliche. Caliche is my baby. So, Caliche is working.
Speaking of Caliche, coming.
So if you have a dog, drop dog in the comments and their name. I had two, Coco and Caliche. So Caliche is my first dog. He's still alive. It's a blessing to be alive. If you are alive right now, type 1 in the comments. And Caliche is 17 years old. Tommy says, animals are so much better than humans sometimes. Yes, it's true. Like today, I've been sick all day, sleep all day. And Caliche is next to me. Come here, baby. Come here. To meet you. They want to see this Caliche. This is Caliche. Right. So when I'm sick, Caliche is next to me all day long in the bed. All day long in the bed. So he helped me so much when I was depressed. He helped me to be motivated to go for walks every single day, like being outdoors. And puppies, they're cuckoo, they're crazy, they pee a lot. So you stay busy because, they need you. So he was kind of like a little angel. And if you write dog backwards, it's G-O-D. And what is G-O-D? God. I was like, oh, this is a little angel from God. So I love my Caliche. And of course, it's not like you're going to buy a dog and not be responsible. No, you had to be responsible for the dog. 17 years being responsible with a dog.
What's better is that you can actually adopt.
No, don't buy dogs. Adopt. Go to your shelter. You can be a foster parent and see if you are like a dog person. If you have a connection with a doggy. Okay, I'm very responsible with my babies, but that's a lot of work. It's a commitment forever. 17 years, and he kisses me and he takes care of me when I'm sick. So this lady yes, baby. This lady shared her struggles, and she struggled so much. She even was homeless. She was working in a restaurant, And the owners at the restaurant were so nice with her that she was able to sleep in the restaurant. I was like, wow. And she said, they helped me so much. And then, she saved money and she was able to run her place. And she started a new life. But she recommended me buy a dog. And for me, it's huge therapy. For me, maybe not for you. So that's why I don't want you to go tomorrow and buy a dog. Go to a shelter. Maybe you can volunteer in the shelter and get along with the dogs and see if you are a dog person. There's a foster care for dogs and cats. So look into that, but don't buy a dog and then like, no, I don't like dogs or cats. No. So for me, it was 1 year. I thought about it, and then I was like, I'm gonna be a doggy mom, a very responsible doggy mom. So that was part of my process of healing, having a dog. And I didn't go to the psychiatrist. And then I got another episode, and I didn't tell my friends. No, how in the world I'm going to tell my friends I'm depressed? I have depression, and maybe they're going to give me medicine. No way. And then I moved to another state because Rosenberg was active duty. Hi, my friend Chasta, you're here. I love you. Yeah, you have doggies too. You take your dog to the daycare. That's good too. I had never took these dogs to the daycare because they don't behave. They bark too much, and they want Caliche wants all the cookies. So I know they will call me like, hey, your dog is eating all the cookies. Okay. So my husband was in the Air Force, so we moved from North Carolina to Florida, and I got depressed again. Why? Because it was 12 years in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I had my roots there. I was like, this is my place, this is my people. I was working in social services, and I never imagined to move from Fayetteville. I was like, we're gonna stay here forever because he was in the military. And then we moved to Florida, a beautiful area close to the beach. That's Destin, Florida. And if you have been in Destin, drop Destin in the comments because the water is beautiful. The sand is like white powder. It's beautiful place. But I was depressed, and I that day, that time I was speaking, and I told my friends, I'm depressed. I don't like this place, and they're like, "You're crazy, Angelica. How in the world you're missing Fayetteville? It's a small town. There's nothing to do." And you are in Florida, you are in Destin area, you are like in summer all year long. Like, what's wrong with you? And then I learned from that experience that I'm not a beach person. I love the mountains, I love the green. I can go to the beach, but not to live there. Okay, so that's different. I learned that lesson. And I learned that when you share what's going on in your life, other people are going to open up and say, oh, I went through that too because I was a military wife too. Or, my husband died when we were young. So I can help you to go through that because that happened to me. But if you don't speak up, you're never going to find help. Of course, you're going to find people who are going to be mean to you. That's okay, because a lot of people say, Angelica, don't share everything on social media. People are bad. Like, I don't have that mentality. I know, like yesterday that I was wearing my bikini, people on TikTok were telling me you're ugly, you're grandma, blah, 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 blah. Do you think I'm going to cry because of those comments? No. Do you think I'm going to stop wearing my bathing suit? No way. Because I work on my mindset every single day. So I'm strong. So that's why I'm telling you, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Maybe you are an influencer and you're having a bad time with the bullies. Talk to me. I can help you. Okay? So that's why raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand for help. Like, if you're a mom and going through postpartum, you have to talk to other moms. You cannot be alone because that's normal to have, your hormones are all over the place. You have to ask for help. okay, so I'm start growing and growing and growing. So I learned to speak up. I learned to ask for help. And I learned that I need professional help. Okay, so I was in the military as an Air Force Reserve police officer, and I was having a hard time in that special unit that I was working with, and I had to talk to a social worker because I needed help. Like I can talk to my husband, but he's not a therapist. But when you talk to someone that is neutral, it's better. And I was so blessed. This lady, she was a social worker, but before she was a police officer in her town. So we can relate with the, because when you are a woman and you are a police, it's a friction because a lot of men don't like women as a police officers. They're like, no, you're too weak, you're too feminine, you cannot be a police, you cannot be in the Air Force as a police. So she helped me so much because she went through a lot when she was a police in her town. So you see why you had to ask for help. And then in another time in my life, I went to a psychologist. There were so many things in my brain, so many things, about angelic powers, about retirement, and I was going to see a psychologist like every 2 weeks, and that was a good help for me. And don't think, oh, because I'm going to a psychologist, I'm crazy. No, you're human. Do you think the psychologist doesn't need another psychologist for help? They do that. It's like that's their job, being a psychologist. When you go to a psychologist, you're not going to say, oh, I have a beautiful life. Everything is so perfect. What's wrong? No, you're going to say, I'm struggling with my husband, with my relationships at work, with the kids. My mom died, or my mom is sick, blah, 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 blah. You're never going to go to the psychologist to say, I have a beautiful life. So that person is listening so many problems, so much negativity, right? Joshua, yes, I'm feeling better. Yes, I slept like almost 16 hours. I'm still in pain, but I feel better. So I needed to be here because you guys give me power, energy. So these psychologists, they also need therapy. Why? Because they have families. Maybe they have a business. They have other things in their life. So they need therapy too. So don't think because I'm going to the psychologist, I'm crazy. No, it is the best therapy that you can get. And in another time in my life, we went to a marriage counselor because we were struggling in our marriage. When it was about 17 years in our marriage, we had a lot of struggles that we even talk about divorce. So we needed to talk to a marriage counselor, with someone with experience, someone we were neutral. They didn't know about us. So I never, ever, 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 ever recommend talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to your sister about your relationships. Mm, mm, mm. Your best friend. No, go to a therapist, go to a psychologist, go to a social worker, go to a marriage counselor. Don't talk about those. When you're struggling with your husband, your wife, no, don't go to your sister, because your sister loves you. So she's gonna be, yeah, he's a bad husband. No, he doesn't deserve you, blah, blah, blah. No. And then you fix everything with your husband, but then your sister knows everything that happens between your husband and you. So no, go to a therapist and they will give you, because that's their job. When you go to a marriage counselor, that's what they do. So they know all the struggles that all relations are going to go through, period. So we have done a lot of psychologists, marriage counselor, marriage retreats, social workers. So that's why you see me kind of this powerful. Why? Because I go for help. Now I learn to raise my hand. Now, when I have, pain, when I go to therapy, for my shoulders, I ask online, what do you do? What do you do? What therapy is working for you? Okay. And then I share what works for me. Tammy, where do you go for grieving? I lost for people in the past 2 years. Come on.
The grieving groups.
Uh-huh. So, Tammy, I think is how you see life. For me, I see life that is beautiful and I live life to the fullest every single day. And I tell people that I love them, right? When I'm with them, I make sure they're having a good time with me. Like I am present with them. I don't wait for a specific day to provide a gift. I'm like, any day you can get a gift from me. Any day I can show up to your house with flowers, with something. Okay. So when my grandmother died, of course, she was my everything because she raised me. My mom was a single mom, and but I was the best granddaughter. I gave her everything that I could, and I love her, and I take care of her. So when she passed away, I was happy because she was not suffering anymore. She was in the hospital for a month. So a friend of mine told me, Angelica, don't pray for your grandma, you know, to be safe, but be in a bed with machines. So that's not quality of life. So pray that God, gives her the best. And the best option was to die. So she was 82 years old. I love her and I enjoy her and I gave her everything, everything, everything that I could. So when it was the time that she, her body decided, like, okay, I'm gone, I was happy. And then when we were in the, how do you say el velorio?
Funeral.
In the funeral, my friends came, to be with me. And they were expecting me to be crying and be crazy because they knew how I love my grandma. And they were like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm okay. Because I didn't have any regrets. I was the best daughter. And that's what I do with my life, the other people. Like, I want to make sure that I live life to the fullest and I love the people that I care about them, to give them love. But it's like a mentality, right? Because you don't, because we're selfish. We want people, to stay forever with us. I understand that sometimes it's hard when we lose those people suddenly, like in a car accident, and you just saw them like 5 minutes ago and you received the call. It's like, what? But that's why you had to live life to the fullest and love people to the fullest. But there are Facebook groups for everything. You can find Facebook groups for grieving, if it is a son, if it is your husband, if it is a friend, even for dogs. They have grieving groups for everyone. So you connect with those people. Let me see who's talking here. Tammy, I do have some regrets. I can't change it now through. Okay, you see, the regrets are eating your heart. God works in mysterious ways. Yes. Love like is the last time you'll see them. Yes. That's what I do. Because people say, why you're so cuckoo, Angelica? Or like, if you see me in real life, walking my dogs and singing and dancing, and everyone that comes across my way, I'm like, hey, good morning. Hey, how are you? Why? Because I don't know if I'm going to see them again. And maybe they could be a neighbor or maybe a stranger. I'm like, I don't know if that person lives alone. I don't know if that person has friends. I don't know if that person is just thinking about suicide. And maybe if I say, hello, how are you? And I'm smiling, like the same way that you see me here online, I'm the same person in person. I showed it all my teeth. I'm like, good morning, how are you? And then when I go to the veterans hospital, there's a lot of old guys, like grandpas, and I go all pretty, and I had to walk a long, long, long hallway, and I say hello, good morning, hello to every single guy I find in my hallway. With the guys, that they take the temperature and give me the mask. I'm like, hey, how are you? How's your day going? I'm all over. Why? Because I want to give you energy. If you're thinking about getting suicide, I'm like, not in my presence. And if I receive messages from people online, like, I'm thinking about suicide, and then I start asking questions. Or maybe if I see something on your page that is like, something weird, I send you a like, what's going on with you? Why did you post that? Are you thinking to commit suicide? Are you planning to commit suicide? I'm like that. But that's why I love people to the fullest. I love myself to the fullest. I love my dogs to the fullest. I enjoy life to the fullest. Like, I enjoy the moment because we can die any minute. Like, when I get sick and I sleep for hours, sometimes it's for days that I sleep, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I feel like I die. Like, today, Sunday, but I feel like it's still Saturday because I missed life this Sunday because I was sick. So that's why I enjoy life. That's why I'm here with you. Maybe Tammy needed to see me today. Like like I love my husband so much. We've been married for 21 years. He was in the military. He went how many times to Afghanistan?
6 times to Afghanistan.
6 times to
Once to Iraq.
Afghanistan, one to Iraq, 7 times in a war zone. So I had to learn to love him to the fullest, to express my feelings every single day when he was with me. Because when he was going to the war, how can I know if he's going to come back? I don't know. So I had to make sure that he knows I love him and that I'm waiting for him. Okay, but some people don't show emotions, and then when people dies, because because I was so scared to show my feelings. Oh, it's too late. So probably the military life taught me to love to the fullest because he was gone. That was his job. It's the same thing if you are married to a police officer or a firefighter. Now my husband wants to be a firefighter, and I support his dreams. Like, I don't care. Like, not everyone is brave to do those jobs. So you had to be proud of your partner when they say, this is what I want to do. I want to be an FBI agent. I want to be a police. I want to be a firefighter. Good for them. Because we need people who are brave, that they're not scared to fight for our freedom. Going to a house in flames is not for everyone. That's not my job. That's not my calling. But my husband is like, I want to do that, honey. I'm like, go for it. You see why? Because I love him so much every single day, and I support him. I support his dreams, like the same way he supports these dreams. Like, for other people, Angelica, you're crazy talking to 3 phones and a computer at midnight. This is my passion. I love this. I could be in bed, but I need this energy from you. So please support your partners if they have crazy uh, dreams like Rosenberg, being a fighter. If you're a fighter, let me know in the comments. And me, I'm crazy. I want to change the world. Joshua, he's a good man to. Oh, yes, he's the best. I love my baby. So remember, raise your hand. Like Tammy said, grieving. Grieving is so important. You had to heal that. Why? Because if you have kids and they're watching how you grieve those people, they're going to have the same problems if you don't learn how to grieve, because kids are watching all the time. So I don't know if you have kids, but it's so important. Like Facebook groups, I love Facebook groups. Facebook groups are helping me a lot with my frozen shoulder, with ideas, with therapy, with support, just to know that I am not alone with frozen shoulder, because frozen shoulder is only for a little bit of people. 5% of the population, less than 5% of the population has frozen shoulder. Okay, grieving. Everyone has a loved one who passed away, right? So it's like, if you find, luckily I don't have kids. Okay, Tommy, good, good. But maybe you have nephews, nephews and what's tías y tíos, ¿cómo se dice? Sobrina? Nieces. You never know. Someone is watching. Maybe it's your best friend's daughter and is watching you, that you're crying, that you're sad, that you're not taking a shower, you're not, getting, everything together. Like, what happened? Oh, because these two people important in my life died. So that little girl or that little boy is going to say, oh, so when someone dies in my family, I'm going to look like you. I'm going to cry like you. So I don't want you to think, oh, because I don't have kids. Everyone is watching you. Maybe your best friend is learning from you how to cope with grief. Like for me, like people say, wow, Angelica, I don't know how you're so happy and you have frozen shoulder. Why? Because I always say, how I look the glass, half full or half empty. So for you, you're grieving these people in your life, but are you enjoying the people that you have right now in your life, or you're wasting time with them because you're still missing the ones that they're not here? And that's part of life. I don't know why we had to get attached to things and people. We're here for a moment, okay? Not everything that you get in life, like material things, you're gonna take them. No, so enjoy them now. And then for people, it's the same. They're not gonna be with us forever. So I went to, like, if you follow me, I do a lot of trainings. I do Zooms every day. I'm reading a book. I'm going to seminars. Like March, I'll be in Dallas, Texas. Let me know if you're from Dallas. We'll meet there. I'll be in Dallas for 3 days for a seminar, okay, with my team. And that's what I do. Learn, 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 learn. So 2019, before the pandemic, right? The pandemic was 2020. Yeah. In November 2019, I went to a silent retreat. Okay. I talk too much. I've been talking for the last 32 minutes and I can keep going, going, going. I was doing yoga in 2019. I start, listening to podcasts, and my husband showed me a podcast from this guy that he crossed the Antarctic, okay, by himself. He trained a lot. And in the interview, they were asking, like, how did you do that? Because not everyone can do that, right? Crossing the Antarctic, so cold. And at the same time that he was doing it, it was another guy doing it. And the other guy was doing it better and faster. And the guy that I was listening to, he was like, no way, like, he's not going to pass me. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And then let's say he planned 40 days to do, to cross the Antarctic. He did it in less time. And he was like, wow, everyone was like, what the heck? How did you do that? And he said, I went and I did Vipassana. Vipassana. I was like, like, I need to do that because I have big dreams in my life. And this guy crossed the Antarctic and he said, Vipassana, help me. I was like, I'm going to Google Vipassana. And then I did my research, and Vipassana is a 10-day minimum. You can do three months, but I did 10 days, no talking. Can you imagine? For me, it was not easy. 10 days without talking. It was meditation. It was eating vegan food, no eye contact, no talking. for 10 days. So that was so difficult for me. I had to do it again, because the first time you have so many things in your mind and you don't do it correctly. So I had to do it again. And Vipassana, because I was there, just me for 10 days, no cell phone, no internet, no computer, no communication, not even with other people. You are with yourself for 10 days. That was that was an amazing experience. Be with yourself and with your thoughts. It's fighting with your thoughts, because Vipassana is to have your brain blank, and it's not easy. And if you are a woman, it is very difficult to have this blank. But I did it, and I struggled doing the meditation, because for me it was not a point to be there. I was like, I don't see the point to be here. I don't like these people. I'm not talking. This is ridiculous. We need to communicate. We need to express love and feelings. That fight is so dumb. Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. This fight. But that's therapy. And if you Google Vipassana, Vipassana is free. They'll give you a bed, you share the room with another person, and it's free accommodations, free food, and free for the 10 days. And at the end, you have to finish the 10 days, then you give a contribution, a donation. If you quit in the third day, if you quit in the ninth day, they don't receive a donation. Like, no, you have to complete the 10 days. And after you do the 10 days, you can go for 3 days. Yeah, Joshua, you're my people. Yeah, we destroy ourselves if we don't control here. So I recommend you, highly, highly, highly recommend you to do Vipassana. So 10 days with you in silence, like wiping all your thoughts. And it's magical when you're able to put your brain in blank. The last day I remember, I was able to have everything in blank, and I feel energy moving through my body. I was like, I don't remember if I cried, but I remember the feeling, and I was like, oh, what is this? It's so magical. So when the pandemic hit, guess what? Joshua, this is fun. When the pandemic hit and people were crazy, I had to be at home. Oh my God. I was like, it's a blessing to be home. Can you imagine the people who are in jail and they don't know everything what's going on in the world? I was in my house. I was like, it's freaking amazing. I have internet, I have my computer. I was working with my business partners online through Zoom. Every day we were sharing our experiences. I was walking my dogs, and people were saying, no, don't walk the dogs, it's so dangerous. I was like, what? I'm gonna walk my dogs, I'm not gonna die. A friend of mine said, my sister put her dogs in a hotel because she's not gonna walk the dogs, because the dogs are gonna bring that thing, the virus, into the house. I was like, no, that's impossible. I'm not a doctor, but that's impossible. And I was walking every single day with my dogs and my husband. We were walking 2 miles a day. We were super healthy. I was doing grocery shopping every single week. Every single week. I didn't go crazy and buy toilet paper like $1,000 in toilet paper. No, food. If you come to my house, you could see that my refrigerator has fresh veggies. Is the food that we're gonna eat for the week. Snacks, we have limited snacks, and they're keto. So you're not gonna find and keep papitas fritas, French fries or tosticos, nothing. We don't eat those things. And people were going crazy to buy everything. Not me. You know why? Vipassana helped me so much. I'm living day by day. If the world is gonna end tomorrow, there's nothing that I can do. So that's the mentality that you have to do. Live today. Go to Vipassana and you're going to learn to live today more and more and more. That's why I don't worry about tomorrow. I just enjoy today. I'm alive today. That's what I'm telling you. If you are alive today, type one in the comments because you're blessed. Don't worry about tomorrow. Crazy time, right? It has changed our world so much. Yes. How do you feel and the importance of a spiritual? Well, talking. Okay. For me, I love God, and every day I'm more connected to Him. Some people don't believe in Him. What? You should. Um, like I love experiences. I love to talk to people everywhere I go. I even went to meetings for AA meetings. That's for alcoholic, right? Alcoholic Anonymous. Why? Because I love to listen to their pain. I love to listen their experiences, so I can learn and I can help other people, and I can learn and to stay away from those situations. I went to meetings I didn't know, but I learned, you see, because I asked questions. I talked to people. Tell me your story. Tell me your story. Tell me your story. So I met this lady in the Vipassana meditation. She was my roommate, and she
When you
told,
could talk.
oh, yeah, of course. After we finished the 10-day, we talk. And she said that she goes to Overeaters Anonymous. I'm like, what is that? And she said, food is an addiction. I didn't know. I didn't know. And she said, sugar is an addiction. What? I didn't know. I didn't know. And because when you quit alcohol, then you go for sugar because alcohol is sugar. And when you stop drinking alcohol, your body is going to ask you for sugar. So sugar is another addiction, but it's a good addiction because you can eat a donut, you can eat chocolate cake, you can eat a muffin all day long, and no one is going to tell you, something is wrong with you. Why you have a tequila in your hand every day, all day long. But if you have cookies, you eat cookies and you have a sweet tooth. That's okay. No, darling, that's an addiction.
Spiritual awakening.
Pásame los baby porfis. Okay, so for the question, for the spiritual awakening, Vipassana is amazing. Learn to love God, to have a connection with Him. Like what my affirmation is, I am God's favorite daughter. He is my best friend. So having that connection with Him is amazing. If you read this book, uh, Jay Shetty, Think Like a Monk, is so good. This book, for Tommy, who's grieving, I think this book will help you because this is a true story from this guy, and he learned to say yes to everything. And when you say yes to everything, you live the moment. And then when you say yes and you see what happens when you say yes, it's like, wow, it's amazing. And I try to live my life like that, right? Saying yes to so many things. Because before I was not saying yes to things because I was so scared, because I was a perfectionist. I was like, I'm not gonna say yes because I don't know how to do that. Or I'm not gonna go to that place because I don't know the people. Now I meet people all over the world. Okay. Uh,
Which one is the first one? You always forget which one is the first one.
Oh, no. This one is the first one. You had the surrender experiment. Yes, you had to read this one first. Yes. Okay, you had to read this one.
Same author.
Tommy. I'm sorry. This is the second book. You had to read this one first. The Surrender Experiment. Someone, I talk a lot of internet, so someone recommended me this book, and I started reading this book, and I didn't understand the book. I was like, how in the world people are saying that's a good book? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then I stopped reading the book. I didn't finish the book. And then another lady on the internet was talking about this book. I was like, excuse me, I don't know, but I don't understand the book. I don't understand the point. I don't know why it's so powerful. And she said, darling, you had to read this book first in order to understand this one. Oh, I got it now. And let me tell you, maybe you're going to read this book and you're not going to understand it. You're not going to get it. Why? Because you need to grow in order to understand this book. Because when I read this book, probably, I don't know, sometimes I write down when I start reading the book. When I start reading this book, I have a lot of maturity. I have a lot of more experience in my life. But there are some books that you can read because you're not going to understand them. The Surrender Experiment. Yes, Papi. Thank you, my darling. My husband is here. I'm trying to move my phone with the mouse. So those books are amazing. Grieving. You have to talk to people who are ahead of grieving. Don't talk to someone who are on the same level as you, because you're not going to grow. That's the reality. Like my mentor, she is a millionaire. My mentor, she goes to seminars that she pays $100,000 a year for those seminars. So I am learning from her because she's on the top, right? But even though she's on the top, she has to go to other seminars to grow herself. So you see, so if you need help with grieving, you have to make sure you are in a group where people are going through those stages, not to talk to someone who are in the same page as you, the same level, no, because there's no growing there. Okay. So thank you, Linda, for here. Tommy, oh, you're here. I love you. I hope it helps, my experience, my sharing. Let me know if you have more questions. And for me, is love yourself and love the people around you, because having regrets, it's not good. And also, I have this prayer, and because ignorance hurts you. Okay, so that's why I always tell you, learn every day something. Learn everything. You had to learn something every day, period. Okay, so I was ignorant and I'm still ignorant. Okay, so I went to the AA meetings, to the Overeaters Anonymous groups, and they use the Serenity Prayer. And I'm thinking, oh, the Serenity Prayer is only for addicts, addicts. No, I Google it, because for me it's so powerful. The prayer, Serenity Prayer, is so powerful. And guess what? It was, ¿cómo se dice? Created by who? It was un pastor?
Yeah, I think so.
Priest. Yes. It was created by a priest. Okay. And the AA meetings adopted the Serenity Prayer because it's so powerful. And I was like, oh, it's for everyone. But so many times you think it's only for addicts. No, everyone uses it. And I have it at home. I have it in front of me. It says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Can you change that your mom is dying? No. Can you change that your dog died? No. You had to accept that, because there's nothing that you can do. Okay? And courage to change the things I can. And wisdom to know the difference. Can you change your perspective about life? Can you change the perspective how to love people? Can you change the perspective how to love yourself? Yes, but you cannot change when people are going to die. No way, we can. Like my dog, 17 years old, he almost died at the end of December. He was sick for 2 weeks. He was not able to eat by himself, drink water by himself. We had to hold him to pee and poop. We were like, he's dying. He's 17 years old. Like, we're saying goodbye. And guess what? He's still alive. What a blessing. So if you are alive right now with me, type one in the comments, because it's a blessing that we're talking right here together. So you see, I love my dog and I give him all the love and I enjoy the walks and I enjoy everything. But when it's time for him to go, there's nothing that I can do. And I had to let him go, because if I don't let him go, then I'm going to suffer. And then this present moment, I'm going to suffer and I'm not going to enjoy it. So, what about, are you living in the past? You're wasting time right here. And if you're living in the future, you're wasting this time. And this is the most precious moment. Something else that I recommend, Sonia, I'm losing my dad now. Do whatever you can. If he can listen to you, tell him, Daddy, I love you. If you had problems with him because life is not perfect, tell him, Daddy, I'm good. I forgive you because you didn't give me this or that, or because you told me this. I love you. Don't worry. Peace. Make sure that he's happy in these last days or month that he has. Don't think about what happened in the past. Yeah, we're friends, we're good. I love you, Daddy. And if you need to go right now, go. If he can talk and say, I need to talk to your mom because I did so many things to her. Help him to say goodbye to the people that he wants. Try to do whatever he needs right now, but let him go. That's my advice. Because remember the prayer. I have it on my phone because sometimes I have difficulties in my life. I'm not perfect, even though I do all this training, but I always go to the prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. And it's difficult, but you had to ask yourself, can I change this situation? No. So give me the courage to find if I can change it or I cannot, because sometimes we go crazy in our minds thinking that we can change that person, change the wife, change the husband, change the kids. No, that's how they are. So we had to live. Like I work in take a picture of you holding his hand in yours. I did that hours before. All those people. See, Tammy is here. So she got you. She's giving you advice. So I use that prayer. I recommend you to have that prayer with you all the time in your phone, I don't know, in your wallet. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. For me, it is magical. I use it every time. I share it with people. And saying goodbye to that person is not easy. It's not easy. So right now, have the experience that you have those regrets, learn from those regrets so you can live life. And last thing, because I had to go to sleep, so he's in a coma state. The hospital isn't allowing us to see him due to, yes, it's terrible. Okay, Sonia, so remember, use the prayer. Can you enjoy life right now with the people who are alive right now? Your mom is present, your sister, your brother, your husband, your kids. Love them right now, because there's nothing that you can do for your dad right now. He's in the hospital, he's in a coma. And because of all these things that are happening in the world, we have more limitations to say goodbye to those people. But make sure that you're present with the ones that you have around you, because they can get sick in any minute. They can die in any minute, but you're not enjoying them because you're putting your attention in your daddy, and there's nothing that you can do for your daddy. There's nothing that you could say, I'm the president of the United States, and I'm gonna go to his room and I'm gonna be with him. Like try to call them. Say, I need to see my daddy. I need to say goodbye. I need to take a picture. You just ask them, can I go to his room and just take a picture with his hand? Ask them. Like every day, call them to see if they say, okay, for 1 minute, go inside, kiss your daddy in the forehead and take a picture. See what happens. But enjoy the people who are right now with you, because being alive is a blessing. And remember the prayer: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You cannot change the situation, your daddy's situation, but you can enjoy what you have with your family right now and be happy. I don't know how old is your daddy. I know it's not easy to say goodbye, but be happy with all the things that your daddy was able to do. Remember the good things and let him go, because it's so painful for the people who are, ready to go, but their family are not letting them go. So we cannot be selfish. It's like, daddy, is it your time? Okay, go in peace. I love you. I will miss you, but I will make you proud here, and you're gonna see me in heaven. My glasses. They do videos for us. Oh, okay. You see, enjoy those videos. They can do that for you. The nurses should help you with that. Talk to him. He can hear you. Okay, do it, do it, do it. Okay, Joshua is going to sleep. Hopefully tomorrow is a less heavy one. Yeah. Oh, happy Valentine's! I don't have any gifts for my husband.
Some food, some chocolate.
So I think Tommy and Sonia, you should get together in a chat and talk about, because you can help each other during this time. This is the power of social media. This is the power at this technology. We live in another world, and it's going to be changing and changing and changing. And if you don't take advantage of technology, you're wasting time. Like how in the I don't know, Tommy, I don't know, Sonia, and you're here with me. For me, that's a blessing. And Sonia and Tommy can get together in a chat, in a messenger chat, and help each other and cry each other and support each other. Tommy already went through this loss, and Sonia is going through right now. You see, when I was telling you, talk to someone who went through already the stage, so that person can help you to get out from that stage, to go to the other level. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And please, is Sonja or Sonia? Like, I need new glasses. I'm waiting for my doctor's appointment. Okay. If you do yoga in a studio, not in the gym, if you do yoga in a studio, they're going to help you to be present and enjoy the moment and honor your body. That's something else that you had to do so you can enjoy more life. Okay, my beautiful people, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love you. I was in bed all day, and it's time for me to rest a little bit more, to see what happens tomorrow. And you are alive. Remember, it's a blessing. Thank you so much. This is Angelica Ortiz with Angelica Powers. Ciao. Facebook, Instagram.